Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and genders of all ranges, and welcome to the ARTPIT, conducted by the Jeremys, a pair of purveyors of fine art and oddities via the best damned art gallery this side of Long Beach, the Dark Art Emporium. Listen and wonder as we jibber-jabber about all things art, music, movies, and whatever other jive we decide to mosh together. Faint of heart, beware, and welcome to the ARTPIT. How you was even
Yeah, what does it do with Bill Cosby?
You know that one time when you painted the moon and gave a dollar? Oh my God! I love the shit out of that one, man. I can't wait to find out the inspiration behind the ooh Baba Daga.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, man. With that, we should probably just jump in and get started.
We're going.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were.
Oh, we are? Oh, no.
Welcome to the ARTPIT, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Dark Art Emporium. Not the Dark Arts Emporium, because we are not a fucking wizarding school of wonders.
Nope.
We are a dark art gallery. I'm Jeremy Cross, and I'm here with owner Jeremy Schatz.
Hello, hello.
And artist of the day, man of the hour, creep extraordinaire,
Hi.
Chris Dinsmore.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
You know, doing a podcast.
You are doing a podcast.
This is happening.
You seem really excited about it. Are you glad to be here?
I am.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Is that why you were late?
Well, actually, I was pretty early. This was like 45 minutes early, actually. But okay, this is how it's going to start.
I mean, did you expect it to be anything else?
Yeah, I know. I was like looking forward to this and dreading it at the same time.
Oh, yeah. You know, I feel exactly the same way.
Well, let's get this thing going.
Yeah. So, you know, we probably should have let you get a beer in before we started.
Oh, yeah.
but,
I'm best with at least one.
Yeah.
3.
So you should just pound that. We'll get you another one, and then we'll really get going.
You're better. You're better after I have a beer.
Do I have to drink it out of this bong, though?
Right?
Yeah.
What is this container? What is this shape? What is happening? Oh, man. So, how long have we known you? I mean, I've known you longer than you've known Shot, for sure, but goddamn, I mean, we're talking Hyena days, right? That's where we met?
Yeah,
Through
I mean,
Hyena?
it was probably like 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
so like
Yeah,
14 years ago?
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Wow.
How am I not tired of you yet?
I think you are, aren't you? I mean, I'm tired of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely
But,
fair.
I mean,
and also,
yeah, that's pretty standard.
normal.
Yeah.
That's the standard sentiment.
Yeah.
I mean, for like more than 14 minutes, much less 14 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty committed to at this point. I want to see where this goes. Take it to the end.
It's not going anywhere. So Hyena, we met through Hyena. Like a lot of my long-term friends in the art community, I'm sure it's probably similar.
Oh, yeah.
For you, I mean.
Yeah, I met a lot of people through Hyena. Yeah, I mean, we know the same people. I mean, I think my first show at Hyena was like 2008, 2009 too, and I steadily did shows there.
Was the Chick Track show was an early show or a first? It wasn't the first show.
It wasn't the first. The first
Okay.
one was Sad Monster Party.
I remember Sad Monster
Yeah,
Party.
'cause you bought something from
I
it.
did. Yeah,
Yeah, you
it
did.
hangs in my living room to this day. I
That was
love the shit out of
that
it.
show did really well.
It's the hand of the Frankenstein's monster with the cigarette.
Yeah, Hellbent. He's
Yes.
got tattoo hell on it. Yeah.
I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces of art. It has always been in my living room since I bought it in several living rooms.
So when I went over there that one time that you invited me over, just that one time, I didn't see it. Did you hide it?
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
It's
no.
it's behind my desk,
You have
which
a
is in my
desk?
living room. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've only been there once.
Behind the computer monitor.
Well, you know what? I didn't want you to get a big ego, so I took it down just for that moment. Because, you know, with you, that's always a risk.
I mean, that's all. I walk into a room, I'm just like eyeballing where my art is.
Yeah, I mean,
just assume everyone has a piece. I should, anyway. If they know what's good for them.
For those of you who don't know this gentleman in person, an ego is something that he greatly does not have. It's exactly the opposite of the game you were playing right now, sir.
Very self-deprecating.
You
I think.
are, and it makes me want to deprecate you more.
Did you say deprecate or defecate?
I mean, your choice, buddy.
Well,
We'll let you choose that route.
the night's young.
Door number 1, door number 2, literally. That was pretty
Oh
good.
man, here we go.
All right, so Monster Party, Sad Monster Party, which I do. I want to be from, and I love that. But the Chick Track show was really cool. It was so high concept, and I dug that you really laid into it.
Yeah, that was. I remember Bill Schaefer at Hyena. Like he was way into that idea. I wasn't really sure how it was gonna be perceived or how he was gonna be like, what, you're gonna do an art show about the art that's in the little religious comics that you like people hand out,
The propaganda
at grocery
pamphlets.
stores.
Yeah.
But he was all about it, and yeah, that show was interesting. I remember Bill saying something that he actually, the guy, the Jack Chick who started it, like he had some connection to him, and he was gonna be able to like go up and visit with him or something. That kept floating around that he was gonna go talk to the guy. I'm like, man, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I think that would have been a great idea. I don't care which way that went. It would have been awesome. Whether he was like somehow honored by it or just thoroughly pissed off and offended.
True, it would have been one or the other. He would have been like, oh, okay, yeah,
It would,
cool.
I don't think he would have been like, I don't care.
Yeah,
That middle ground wasn't an option.
You're right. It should have happened. It should have happened.
It should have. I mean, either you would have gotten protested or made a new friend.
That's true.
And either one of those is kind of cool.
Yeah. Bill always has these weird connections that every time I go in there, he just has some story about like, oh yeah, I know that guy, or this person came in here. It's just wild when you walk into his gallery.
Bill knows everybody, and everybody
Yeah.
knows Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people have been, inspired and brought up. There's always, this podcast has often fallen into the love letter to Hyena realm, and including the one that we did with Bill.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that one.
What's that?
I didn't listen to that one.
You didn't listen to it?
Yeah,
No.
it's not that good.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't. I don't remember it because me and Bill finished a bottle of whiskey in like an hour.
I just saw that Brian Bubonic was part of it. I was like, not for me. Not for me.
So how can you be mean to Brian?
No, I love those guys. I listen to it, of course. That show was called Personal Hell, by the way.
Personal hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my second show. Yeah.
All right. And then I'm sure that there were some in between, but then you did shows with Night Gallery too
Yeah.
when we were doing that.
Yeah. Group shows. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we did a split solo there.
Did
We did.
Okay.
You don't remember?
What was it called?
I don't remember what your shit was called.
Well, if it was a split show, we both just had our own, like, it was just like a wall, like, oh, Jeremy's got his show over there, and I've got my show over here?
Yeah. You had the staircase. Because I wasn't giving you the main gallery.
That's right. Maybe that's why I forgot about it.
Maybe because you were a dick about it.
I remember we did a show. It was early on, and it wasn't at Hyena or Night Gallery, but it was like it wasn't even a show. It was just like you and me had art up at this place in L.A. and I can't remember if it was a bar or something.
It was The Bar.
Yeah.
It was called The Bar.
The bar.
Yeah, and it was on Sunset, like down towards Rock and Roll Denny's.
Oh, is that near Gower?
Yeah. So
Gower
yeah,
Gulch.
it was. I did shows with a few people there. I did shows with Big Tasty,
Oh, okay.
Spine Stealer, you. There was like a summer where I don't remember how that connection happened. I didn't facilitate it.
Oh, I felt like you did.
I think somebody facilitated it to me, and then they, me, once you get my foot in the fucking door.
Oh yeah, then it's just like
Yeah,
it's
it was
in
just
there.
like, so what are we doing next
it's
month?
Like, there's his foot.
And we
it's
just
not
kind of
going
kept
anywhere.
it going.
I remember though the weird thing was that they like lost the lease or something on their building, and they had to move, and they moved our stuff before telling us,
Yeah.
and they just they obviously weren't art movers, and they just like threw our stuff in their cars. And I just remember they were all like dented up, and like one of them had a hole in it. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is what we're doing.
Yep.
We had to go to downtown LA to go pick them up.
Dude, some shady shit went back in.
Oh, yeah.
Back down then.
Yeah.
It was I used to show in bars quite a bit. Like
That's
10, 12 years ago.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there anyway, so
Yeah.
might as well try to sell some art.
Put stuff on the wall. God, this guy won't leave.
But yeah, like I did a show at the Golden Gopher and like all these weird bars in LA. Not good. They never went well.
Well, but you gotta do them.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
I
part of the
did.
experience.
I don't know if you have to do them.
You gotta.
If you can avoid it, you should.
This is like a PSA for.
Like, I mean, shot.
Young
You go to a
artists.
bar to get a drink, and there's an art show happening, and you're an art lover. Like, what's your reaction to that, honestly?
But if you're not blackout drunk.
No.
Well, I want to hear both.
Oh. Okay.
I'd probably check it out, but it'd probably be bad because the art's gonna be bad because
Like-
they're showing in a fucking bar.
Whoa. Shots fired.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Just to be completely honest, like if you can't get into a gallery, I mean, by all means, show your art any way you possibly can. But more than likely, I'm not gonna it's got to be damn good if it's in a bar.
it's definitely a paying your dues situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just start out in a gallery.
No.
And that was kind of my problem, is that I did start out in a high-end gallery, and I kind of like.
What high-end gallery was that?
Hyena?
No, Copro Nazon. It was.
okay.
It was. Now it's Copro Gallery,
Yeah.
but
You started out at Copro?
Yeah.
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. We were going to. My family had moved back from Oregon. We lived in California most of my life, and then we moved when I was like 15, and we lived up in Oregon for a few years, and we moved back down, and it was like the late 90s, early 2000s, and there was a situation in my family where we were going to we had to go to LA like every weekend. I won't get into why, but I started.
I have to ask now.
No, it's like a family personal thing. I don't.
Okay, all right, keep going. Yep.
But
We'll skip right past that.
but I was really, at that point, I was like really into Juxtapose magazine, and I kept finding these galleries, and they're all in LA. So I was like, well, if I'm going out there anyway, I should go stop by some of these galleries. So I stopped in Copro Nazon, which they were over there in Culver City at the time,
Yeah.
small little place, and they were like the epitome of like lowbrow art, which is what I loved. And it was, I just went in there, and I just would go in there like almost every weekend, and I kind of, talked to the owners a lot, and one of the owners, because it was Greg Escalante and Doug Nazon who owned it, and I really like started chatting up Doug Nazon a lot, and well, the thing is, like, I never really said I was an artist until one day when I brought my mom in there, and of course my mom brought up the fact that I was an artist to him.
Good on you, Mom.
Yeah, no, she basically kickstarted my art career.
That's awesome. That's
so
so
he was
sweet.
like, "Oh, you're an artist? Yeah, you should bring some stuff down." So I did the next weekend, and I think he liked that I was like a 20-something-year-old kid that was like way into Big Daddy Roth and Von Dutch and all those artists, and that's what, like, they showed a lot of that art. And
Right.
he was like, "Well, we're actually, this was like, it was right after Big Daddy Roth had died, and he said that he was working on a book with Last Gasp. They're doing a Rat Fink Big Daddy Roth book, and he said there was going to be an art show with it, and he's like, well, you should do something for it." I was like, okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. And, like, I'm 20-something. I'm like, I'm going to be in this lowbrow, fucking crazy gallery. And this is my first art show. And I'm going to be, it was like people like Shag and Paul Frank and just like insane artists that's just like, I should not have been in that show. But thank God I was, because it was awesome. It was awesome.
So what did you do for it?
Well, I actually had done this painting that he saw before. I think that's why he thought, like, oh, he might be good for it. It was a portrait of Big Daddy Roth called Beatnik Disney, and He was green. It was, you know, it was a portrait. It wasn't anything crazy, but he liked it enough to put it in the show, and it was like hanging next to a Shag and, Von Franco, and I was just like, oh my God.
What a way to jump in, man.
Yeah, well, it's good and bad because it's like, that's all I thought, okay, well, I'm in the art world now. I'm in it. And I kept going back and wondering why I wasn't getting asked to do other shows. And at that point, they hired Gary Pressman, and he became like the curator. And he was trying to take the gallery into a different route, where he was just like, he wanted to show more of like, Luke Chu and Chet Zar and that type of stuff, which is cool, but it was definitely, he was veering away from the custom culture, hot rod art stuff,
right?
Which I was completely a part of and wanted to be in. But I was in like 3 or 4 group shows at Copro, and then the last one was the 15th anniversary, and they had a book that kind of went out with that show. And that show was even crazier than the Big Daddy Roth. It was
I'm sure.
It was like on the postcard, it's got like the Piz and
RIP.
Shepherd Ferry, and it was like Shepherd Ferry, the Creep on it. I was like, because it was like alphabetical order. I'm like, this okay, this is it. It doesn't get any better than this. And then after that, it completely dried up. I didn't have any shows going on there anymore, which is understandable. I should not have been in a gallery in the beginning. My stuff is so much better than it was back then. But hey, Doug Nazon, you really helped me out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not actually know any of that about,
Yeah.
about how you got rolling. So that's cool.
Well, it was kind of funny because then right after that, I found Hyena because he was in the old 8-Ball shop, and I was
Were you trying to go to 8-Ball like a lot of people?
No, but I kind of knew of that area. I know, or the comic book shop.
So many people, yeah.
But I was like, oh, it looks like this place is. I was like looking for galleries. I'm like, oh, I guess I gotta really like start looking. I just kind of like put all my, eggs in the Copro Nazon basket, which is stupid, but.
Hey, that's not a bad basket to jump into.
No, not at all.
If you got to choose a basket,
it's true. It was a rad basket. It's all woven.
So
beautiful.
You kind of talked about the custom culture and that whole scene, and the hot rod inspiration, and there's a lot of common threads in your work, and I don't feel like they all stem from there. I'm just gonna tell you how I see your work, and then you can correct me.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of like beatnik, hot rod, Big Daddy Roth, like that kind of stuff. Freaking what is it? Switchblades and people smoking and drinking, and it's the cocktail tiki culture that's also linked deeply to that. But then there's this whole other thing to it where you love like classic horror, really dumb animation, puppets for some reason.
Oh, I mean, what puppets?
Everybody loves puppets.
See,
Really?
Yeah.
No, puppets.
everyone loves puppets.
Puppets are creepy.
Some
That was not meant to be intentionally
He's the creep.
linear, but I know.
It's in the name.
So, how do these things work together in your brain?
I guess because I kind of, I've always been kind of a pop culture like fanatic. I guess I watched a lot of TV when I was young.
Like all of us, yeah.
Yeah, I probably watched more than most because I'm referencing things that were like obviously before my time, but there was Nick at Night, and and I think also like you kind of want to, you want to relate to your parents, and my mom and dad, had all these shows that they grew up with. My mom loved all the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff, so then of course I did. I loved Land of the Lost and all those shows, and back in the day, like there were Saturday morning cartoons and stuff, so and they would show reruns, and it was just a lot of sitting in front of a TV and absorbing it all.
I feel like it's a pretty bold statement to say that you watched more TV than the next guy. So there has to be a reason behind you feeling like you did.
I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't like an active kid. Like I skateboarded and rode bikes and stuff, but I think generally, like on the weekends, I would mainly stay inside and kind of watch, TV. And I always had a TV in my room. I mean, I remember having a little black and white television in my room, like early on. I was pretty young.
Are you like 90?
I'm like 73, okay? 74 in a week. But
I mean, I didn't have a TV in my room growing up, but it might have been black and white if I had. Yeah.
You get hand-me-downs. Obviously, there was color television at the time, but it was an old garage television. It's like, here, well, we don't know what to do with this. But I watched a lot of TV, and I think my whole family, because my sisters both. I mean, obviously, Bunny, her references are like 40 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're just maybe we're just wired to like be nostalgic of like a different era, and we want to be part of that, and always think like, oh, it was always better back then. Obviously it wasn't, but
I mean, I feel like there's an argument on both sides of that.
Well, I mean, if you're white, yeah, it's always
cool.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about like I didn't mean that part of the culture. I meant like what was on television.
Oh, yeah.
That's specifically that. Before I make that fucking clear as hell right now. Like, I don't feel like cartoons got better. I don't feel like children's television programming got more interesting.
No.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse would not fucking exist right now.
No, it wouldn't. Or like Ren and Stimpy or any of those.
Yeah.
But also at the time, those things were pretty innovative.
They definitely were.
I mean, at the time it was just like, the Gummy Bears cartoon.
Which was awesome.
Or DuckTales.
Dude, a woohoo.
You guys are a little bit younger than me, but yeah. I mean, I like those too, but they weren't like...
We're younger than you?
I think so.
I'm 44.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I think I was younger than you.
We're the same.
Yeah.
I guess I had more of a sophisticated palate. I was like watching Masterpiece Theater and a lot of PBS.
Yeah, so much PBS.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
Probably too much.
Right.
Probably too much.
Anyway, so this is probably a good segue to start talking about your current show, because all of this is definitely, it's probably molded together in the most cohesive way that I've ever seen it. All of these elements to what we're talking about that show up in your work.
Okay.
I want to go through and talk about a few of the pieces in particular, but I also don't want to shy away from the fact that there's somebody missing from the room right now that really should be here to talk about the other half of this feature show.
I don't.
And that's your sister Bunny.
Oh, that's right. I do have a sister.
Yeah. So before we talk about the show, I want you to talk a little bit about why you decided to do a show with Bunny. How that conversation happened, took place. She's an artist that we've shown here before.
Yeah.
We dig her work. But when you had the idea of a sibling duel versus show, we couldn't resist that at all.
Well, yeah, and honestly, the idea kind of came. I think the Big Tasty and Kat had a sibling show back in the day.
Yep.
And I thought that was cool. And then like Dana's a lot younger than me, a lot younger.
By the way, Dana is Bunny. Bunny is Dana. Creep is Chris. Chris is Creep. Like,
you know, guys following along?
We're not all cool enough to have pseudonyms, but
you guys are pretty cool. Shot and Cross.
Yeah, those are our actual fucking names, though.
But that's pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like a buddy cop movie. Shot and Cross.
It's that's Fast and the Furious 10.
I'd watch it.
Right. It'd be
I she's a rad artist, and she's going to school right now, and I helped her out on her. She has like scholarship walls that she does at school, and so she puts up her stuff, that she's worked on for a few months, and I, help her hang them, and I'm like, man, this stuff could go into a gallery. I mean, this stuff's rad, and I'm just, it's like it's a sibling thing where it's like you want to see your, brothers and sisters do well. I'm not one of those where I'm like gonna try to keep anyone down just to make my ego feel good. I mean,
Well,
I
it was
do
it
get
was really
jealous.
cool to see her pieces in this show. Is like I said, we've only had her in a few shows before, and her pieces are always super interesting and very different in style.
yeah.
She style hops fluidly, and it's but it works.
I think it's because she's still really young and she's
Yeah.
still kind of trying to find what she wants to do. I mean, it kind of depends on when you get her or what she's working on. But yeah, she's been doing shows for. I got her into a couple of Hyena shows, but she was mainly doing like digital stuff then. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but like if you're gonna do like a gallery show, you're gonna just try to do like put paint to canvas.
We dig that. That makes
Yeah.
that definitely sealed the deal for us.
Yeah.
But that being said, she's not here, and it's not because she's like dead or anything. We want to make sure that
we don't know.
I mean, right now.
I don't know when this goes out.
Right now, she's Schrodinger's cat, right? We don't know what if she's in the box or not, and she's alive in the box. But
She's healthy and happy in Pasadena right now.
and she just doesn't like us and doesn't want to be here.
No, she specifically.
That's
was
what you
like,
told me.
Uh,
Something about the smell. I don't know.
she's embarrassed of me. is the
I mean, to be fair.
Once you leave, she's coming in.
Shit. She's in the bathroom right
Yeah, I told her I'd text her when you're finally gone.
She is a shy creature.
That's
Yes.
the main issue.
Yeah.
She's very shy, which I'm also very shy too.
Sure.
As I'm talking into a microphone. But I've always been a shy person. Art has always been the thing that's gotten me in from when I was really young. That's how I made friends, was like, oh, I can draw you something. And
You were bribing people with art to be your friend?
Well, didn't you?
Oh my God, no.
Oh, no.
It's the saddest thing I've ever fucking heard.
I mean, it wasn't going to be my sparkly personality that got me in.
Oh my
It
God.
was because I
I'm
could...
crying for you right now.
Aw.
What a rough childhood.
Well, let me dry those
Will
tears.
you draw me a Mickey Mouse? I'll be your friend. And then you give me the Mickey, and I'm just like, you can fuck off. Thanks for the Mickey.
Yeah, that's weird. That happened a lot, actually. I'd draw Mickey Mouse, and then they would grab it and walk off.
Right. Yeah. So that was a bad plan. Is what I'm.
No, but it's
It
like...
was sad and bad.
I think that I'm going to say that's probably true with a lot of artists, is that was kind of their way into a lot of, situations, was like, maybe it wasn't because they were so funny or, charismatic. It was like, oh, that guy can draw. And everyone loves an artist. It doesn't matter. Like, I was friends with jocks and the nerds and all of them because they were just like, oh, he's just an artist. He's, he's not trying to, move in on anything that I'm doing.
We had very different
Yeah.
very different lives. That's interesting. They say, I've heard that saying before, that like artists can float in and out of different classes and levels of society at will. I've never understood why that's true.
Well, think about it.
yeah.
I mean, I think about this a lot, probably too much. Is something ever happened, like if I committed a murder of, like, say, my wife, or this is hypothetical, but I was sent to prison?
Carrie would fucking kill you. Let's be real.
Yes, she would. She would be the murderer. I'd be the murderee.
Like, I'm scared of her.
Yes, should be. But like if you're sent to prison, it's like, oh my God, art would save our asses, like literally.
Maybe.
Because
yeah.
and I actually know someone that's what actually happened, is that he.
I won't rape you if you draw me a pretty picture.
Or it's just like like you're cool with everyone. You're cool with the skinheads. You're cool with like the black guys. It's because you're an artist and you can do tattoos or draw me a picture. I mean, I think it really is like universal.
Should you ever be cool with skinheads?
I mean, it's better that than the alternative, I guess.
I mean, no, you shouldn't be. But if you're in prison, I think it's cool to be friends with everybody.
Yeah. Like, maybe not cool, but necessary.
Yeah.
I like that you drawing, like, it's just in this weird scenario. Like, I have to be able to draw. So when I'm in prison,
You're like, I draw the perfect swastika.
I actually don't. I really mess those up. I always get them reversed, and yeah.
Like, hey, don't rape that guy. His swastikas are legit.
I go through life thinking, like, how can I not get raped in this situation?
Yeah.
And that's why I became an artist.
Everybody has their own story, man. That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's an important story.
So Dana's not here because she's ashamed of you. But since she can't talk about her show, I will briefly discuss her show in front of you, which will make this weird.
And this is where you guys can tune out for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's not nice. You're an asshole. You're a shitty brother. So her show is all pop culture. Each piece is its own pop culture reference, and I'd say most of it is movies, if not all of it. No, some of it's not movies.
There's some TV.
There's some TV. There's some
MASH
pop culture. There's a
MASH
Burger King reference, and
Well, that's it. That's actually a YouTube reference.
oh, that's right. She did
Yeah.
explain that, and I'm
Yeah.
old. I don't understand that shit.
I
at
don't get it
all,
either.
But it's a YouTuber.
Yep.
I have an 8-year-old that tells me about YouTubers all the time. He wants to be a YouTuber. So
Oh, God. Well,
maybe
good
someday
luck.
he'll be in a Dana painting.
Let's hope.
But yeah, they're really cool pieces. And like I was saying earlier, she genre and theme and style hops fluidly in the sense that she executes very different artistic styles just as well from piece to piece.
Yeah.
Very clean lines, similar to
Yeah.
to her brother in some, and some of them are more painterly. Really cool stuff. So make sure that you go and check out Bunny's half of the show, which I will say is currently outdotting yours.
Oh, here we go. Yep. You guys said you weren't going to bring that up.
I
during this.
never said that.
No, I thought you put the contract in front of me, and I read it over. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I brought my lawyers.
Yeah.
And it specifically said.
And I don't want to drill the point down too fine, but I think that she has twice the amount of dots that you currently have on the wall.
Who's counting?
I am. Because
But really,
as a gallerist,
like,
I kind of need to know where we're at with that.
but I don't know. I would like to see the math on that.
Okay. Well, we can waste everybody's time with that later. In the meantime,
You don't have to.
the other half of the Bunny and Creep show.
The
being
important
creep-
part.
the elder part. the less red dotty part.
It's true. It's true. No one likes me.
So, I was talking about how we have the beatnik culture, the hot rock culture, mixing in with lots of cinema, cartoon, and television nostalgia. Let's just pick a couple of the pieces immediately. Like, you got Pee-wee mirrored with Vampira from Plan 9 from Outer Space. Like, that's one of the coolest things about this show is you got these two pieces. They're exactly the same size. They have their own matching custom frames.
Yeah.
And they're styled similarly, referencing very different things. and they look amazing together.
Oh, thank you. That warms my heart, Jeremy.
Does it? I didn't mean it.
No, it doesn't.
Meant nothing like me. So how does Pee-wee, since you mirrored these two pieces, how does Pee-wee interlock with Vampira and Plan 9?
It's funny because they're the first two pieces I did. That's why they kind of look similar. I'm a sucker for like symmetry, cohesiveness.
Which is weird because you do a lot of asymmetrical shit.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all, even if it's asymmetrical, they still like match and
It's still balanced.
Yes, they're still balanced. But this was like the first show, like solo show, feature show that I didn't have a theme for. I usually like themes, and I usually use those to jump off at usually, I mean, even like Personal Hell was like one of those shows where it was like so just down in the muck of like every piece needed to be in context of the other piece.
Right.
And I was like, sometimes I shoot myself in the foot by doing stuff like that, because some of the pieces they won't sell just because they don't make any sense because they're not paired with the other piece. And
yeah, once you take one of those links out of the chain, the chain stops making as much sense.
But I think of a show as like everything together, and you kind of have to. They have to be standalone too. It can't just be like, oh, the whole show only looks good if it's all the pieces together, because unless you're gonna get like someone coming in buying the whole show, like that, it's kind of
one can dream.
Someday. But this show, I wanted it to be more like just very open. That's why it was just kind of like, well, let's just call it our show, and it can be anything you want.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to my sister. Hey, Dana, do whatever you want. And she's like, okay. That's a pretty good impression.
That's very good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece that you did for the show?
I mean, the Poison Ivy one really took a long time to do.
That guitar, right?
That guitar. Oh God. Painting like anything that's like instruments or anything that is like very intricate little parts on it, I usually stay away, but it needed the guitar.
Yeah,
so I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the guitar. And boy, I wish I would have just not done it because I was so angry.
Well,
if
you haven't seen Creep's work, one of the things I love about your work is the crazy detail and clean line work that you do. Like, I can't imagine, like, I could never be that neurotic. I don't fucking know how. Like, I'm impressed and terrified at the same time.
You should be scared.
Yeah, like there's some Dexter shit behind some of those lines, man.
Oh, definitely.
But they're the cleanest shit. I mean, you mentioned Shag earlier, and I think that I wouldn't be the first to parallel some of your stuff to Shag. No. Because it's, thematically, you guys have some similar ground.
Yeah.
And certainly stylistically. But yeah, that kind of clean line, I can't wrap my head around it. And it's really impressive.
It's one of those things that, like, I wish in the beginning I would have maybe stayed away from, because I've really, like, it's hard to do.
I bet.
And it's hard, and I have that, I try to straddle that line between keeping stuff loose, but also keeping it in, like, is this going to fit with a black line? And sometimes it's a pain in the ass.
I think that's what I like about your larger portraiture pieces, is there is that balance between, like, you shading things out looser and the clean lines.
Yeah, like the Paul Lind one is
holy crap.
It's pretty loose. It's got some tight lines in it, but it's fairly loose. And I'm gonna say, like, the Poison Ivy and the Paul Lind are probably my favorite. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
They're definitely two of my favorites in the show. There's a Popeye themed piece.
Yeah.
There's another. There's actually 3 Pee-wee themed pieces, because you've got Francis, and then you've got the secret word of the day is "fuck you."
Yeah, the cherry.
Yeah, the cherry, which I love that piece so much. Not so, the model's fine, but
Pee-wee was like, Paul Rubens, everything he did, like, was a huge influence on me. I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure was like the first movie that I was like, I love everything about this. Like,
I feel that.
Oh my God, Tim Burton. I don't know what happened to Tim Burton. If you're listening, Tim Burton, just go back, do that again.
Yeah. Just make Beetlejuice 2 and go from there.
What? Yeah. Beetlejuice, another movie that was just this perfect movie. And
stop fucking remaking Disney shit.
Yeah, don't do that. CGI, no. But Pee-wee's Playhouse was another show, like, me and my sister watched every Saturday morning, like clockwork. It was
such an amazing show.
Oh yeah.
The creativity behind that show, like. Is there a documentary about the making of that show?
I mean, if there isn't, there should be.
I can't imagine that it wasn't chaos and cocaine.
Cocaine. I mean, maybe it was the 80s.
I'm just assuming that there was a lot of cocaine behind Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I feel like there was a documentary that.
Is there?
I think there is.
Like, I don't
Look it up.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
My lawyers are looking it up right now.
So let's see. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the reason for 13?
Maybe subconsciously.
Yeah.
I had 12, and then I was like, oh, I think I got another, couple months here. I could probably knock another one
I'm
out.
gonna do an odd number of pieces to be a
Yeah, but
weirdo.
again with the symmetry, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of fucked myself on that.
So everything from Sid and Marty Krofft to Pee Wee's Big Adventure to fucking Hawaiian Punch. Yeah, just there's a lot of shit going on in the works. And then you did basically a separate, complete series
Yeah.
for the show.
Yeah.
And you called it the Creeps Art Print Garage.
Yeah.
And I know it's Shot's favorite thing about the show.
Yes.
So
Nothing but respect for
So were
screen
you just
printing.
bored after doing a 13-piece feature show and needed something else to do?
No, it was kind of out of. I knew you had a lot of walls at the new space here.
Yeah, it's big.
And I was afraid that I knew Bunny works very small, so I was like, ooh, maybe I need to step it up and try to put some filler in there. Yeah, it's filler. It's okay.
That was pointed at Shot, by the way. Just you can't see, so you need to understand.
I'm looking right at you.
We lovingly and sometimes more honorably.
I didn't know they were coming.
Shot doesn't like surprises.
He just showed up with like
you
20
never know when
extra
they're-
pieces that were big.
You never know when they're coming.
What am I gonna do?
But I thought they were cool because you took the pop culture reference and you spun it a whole different direction.
Well, I mean pop culture. Like I think of Andy Warhol and
Very Warhol.
yes,
So it's hot pinks and
Yep.
cool blues and lavenders and it's everything from Sesame Street to A Clockwork Orange to classic monster masks. I personally grabbed a switchblade because I thought a hot pink switchblade was really sexy.
Yeah.
I needed that. They're neat, and there's even like some. There was a local reference to the VIP
Yep.
in Long Beach, the record place,
Yep.
record store, which is cool. I think they're neat. I do. And it's it creates an affordable option for people too, which
Yeah.
is your pieces are already pretty affordable.
Yeah.
But these were we're talking like $100 a pop.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking like that too. I'm a screen printer by trade, and I've always been interested in screen printing as an art. And I love Warhol. I just think the immediacy of it too. It like really fills in the gaps. Like I would do them in between the paintings because the paintings take some time, and so in between I would do a couple screen prints
Get
and
some quick release.
yeah, just like get it out, It's that
Gross.
like it's a gross orgasm noise I
It
just
was
made.
not
I'm
fun.
I'm sorry, listeners.
Everybody's embarrassed for you.
Should I just leave right now?
Yeah, you should go.
All right. Good night,
Better
everybody.
off. And I thought they're cool. There's 2 pizzas that if you shine a black light on them, there's a pentagram that shows up, which I feel like that was really pointed at part of what happens here, which is the
Yeah.
4th horseman. Like
Yeah.
you're basically just like, if I do this, 4th horseman's gonna buy one, and they haven't yet, to their credit.
Nope.
Man, they're showing so much restraint. I
Right?
know they want to buy them
Yeah.
so hard.
Oh, man.
So hard.
I might just buy one so that I can hide it somewhere up in the rafters of the bar to spite them.
No, they can't have them. They're the only ones that can't buy them.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
specifically said that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want to sell art.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So you've sold, I don't know, about a third of those?
Yeah, no, they
quite
were
a
doing
bit.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I think they're fun. I think it is like, I still think it's art. I know some people in this room don't think they're art,
I
but
don't know who that would be.
I didn't say that.
I don't know who that would be.
I don't know either.
I bought one, so obviously I dig them. I'm not going to point a finger at anybody else, not that you'd be able to see it.
They're cool. Everyone knows it is.
Everybody
It's
thought they were cool.
They're cool.
Everybody that matters.
Cool.
So,
A T-shirt you can't wear.
a T-shirt you can't wear. Oh,
I think that's
if anybody else said that, it might sound cool. It might be a selling point. But when you say it, it's so shitty.
I'm think I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna use that as my tagline.
That should be.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's a
uh-huh.
T-shirt you can't wear.
Yeah, just to
It's a
throw
T-shirt
it
for
in
your
face.
wall.
Yeah. And you could wear it.
It's a wall shirt.
You could wear it.
I guess you could.
Yeah.
You just put some wires on it, where it's like a sandwich board.
Got a switchblade on one and
Yeah.
Frankenstein on the other.
Wearable art. Oh my God.
So
I'm full of gold today.
you also did a series of prints,
Yeah.
and those are also screened.
Yes, I screen print the prints too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do a lot of screen printing around here. I know that's what you do for a job, but I mean,
Yeah.
you've done shirts for how many shirts have you done for the Fourth Horseman?
Ooh, God.
Quite a few.
Damn
now.
near every one of them.
All of them.
All of the ones
except
that
for a couple.
Yeah, are cool.
Yeah, California Tees. They're it's where I work. Elliot and Jake. A shout out to them. They help me out.
What's the website? Because they deserve a shout out. You guys deserve to shout yourselves out, and I feel like it's not CaliforniaTees.com. So.
No, it's
Cali
cooler than that. It's
Yeah.
cal-tees.com. So
Yeah.
cal-ts.com.
I've done prints and shirts through you. Like everybody that asks me who to go through, I tell them to give you guys a buzz, because you guys are great, and
I've been doing it for a long time.
Super reasonable too.
Yeah. I have I have an artist eye. So
I mean-
my art's pretty. Like,
Other people
clean
proof it,
lines.
so you're better. You're good.
No, I'm very anal about the T-shirts just as much as my art. So everything's got to be perfect, or I'm not happy with it. So that's probably bad for business, because I probably take a little bit longer, because I'm like, no, that doesn't look good, because
Yeah.
we're not a sweatshop, and we do custom work.
Yeah.
It's important.
Very
Custom
good.
work. It's quality.
It's very quality.
And so if you're gonna, come to us, you're gonna get a quality product.
There's a reason why we have you make our shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many of those didn't make it to the wall? How many were like, nope, fuck it, that 666 is just a little to the left and not the right pink.
Well, that's the beautiful part of the screen printing on like art, is that when there's a little bit of like, if it's offset too much, or if there's like some pieces missing in it, it kind of adds some character to the art.
You just said you were super anal about it and they all had to be perfect.
Well, I
Which
mean-
fucking way is it, man?
Oh no. Yeah, I
you in
know.
a lie.
No, you caught me. It's a gotcha moment. No, I think the screen printing and the art is more forgiving, just because any little thing can be like, oh, it looks cooler like that. Oh, a little piece is missing here, or it didn't go through the screen all the way here, and it kind of adds to the like imperfection of it.
All shit aside, I do agree with you, and I think it's really cool that you screen print your prints and on the wood, because it does feel more like a one-of-one.
Oh, it totally is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do those again because it's a pain in the ass.
Right.
So
It's much different than somebody laser printing a print.
Oh, totally. And I used to do that in the beginning, and with my art, it would never really translate well to actual like digital printing. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna screen print them, and they'll be their own thing. It'll be its own little piece of art. And I don't know. I think it's just like a cooler way for me anyway, because it works with my art pretty good, because I don't have a lot of I don't have a busy background going on in my art. It's usually a pretty like a colored background with like a something like iconic in the middle that like gets your eye, but it's not very busy.
Yeah, you don't do a lot of detail in the background.
I
Actually,
don't.
there are a couple in this show that are way more detailed in the backgrounds than most of the stuff you've done.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It lends itself to a similarity in style.
And I've been accused of actually screen printing the originals. Like people have come to me like, "Oh, this is a screen print, right?" It's like,
There's no way this is that clean.
yeah, it's like, no, I
you
did
did this digitally and then you screen printed it.
If you look very closely with like a jeweler's eye, you can see brush strokes.
No, I refuse to believe that there are any brush. Seriously, his shit is so clean. I don't think I've ever seen a brush stroke or a drip or anything. He did a mural here at the Fourth Horseman of a drunken pizza slice, and he took longer than everybody else.
I came back on a second day.
Oh my God, so slow. But if you look at like ours, I mean, they're fucking murals in a pizza joint. They look the way they should. They're a little bit sloppy and done.
But that lends
like
to
6 hours.
the other artists where it's just like, yeah, it's loose. Again, I'm envious of that.
And then you look at his, and I swear to God, it looks like a fucking sticker on the wall.
Well, yeah, but it's not hand painted.
But to your credit, that's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
And it's probably going to be the one that's never tagged.
Oh God, I hope. I noticed that there's ladders leaning up against it right now, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, we treat you appropriately.
I could just
You
the
picked
love.
the wrong spot to do it.
Well, I know. I can feel the love.
Speaking of that drunken pizza, you're wearing the pin of it right now.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
I don't think I ever got one of those.
Oh,
I
I'll
know,
get
that's
you one.
dumb. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not touching you for it though.
You can have this one.
That was clapping, by the way.
That was his penis slapping against the table.
God. So what's I feel like if I didn't address the elephant in the room in doing a podcast about a show that was created in the last year, I'd be doing a disservice. So how was creating this show and staying focused on it during this pandemic?
I mean, honestly, it's the best thing that could have happened because there weren't any shows happening. I usually can do like, I've got stuff lined up where I'm doing like a show like every couple months or something, where I'm just kind of always busy, but everything is shut down. But luckily, I had locked you guys into this show, like right.
We tried to let you out.
He can't shake me. But this actually like kept me going through the whole pandemic. It really it didn't really I still work a full-time job, but on the weekends I obviously couldn't go anywhere, so I was just huddled up in my studio doing the show, and it was great timing, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah.
And at no point was it difficult to stay motivated or anything like that?
No. I get pretty obsessed with shows.
Dexter.
I mean, my wife will be the first to tell you that I obsess. That's all I talk about is the show that I'm working on currently, and I'm sure she is so happy that the show is almost over because I won't be talking about it anymore. But yeah, it took my full focus, and it was a good thing. I mean, I'm not saying the pandemic was a good thing.
Yeah, and I get that.
The time was a good thing.
Yeah.
I had time finally.
Yeah. What about any other aspects of the pandemic and how you worked your way through it that you want to share?
Alcohol.
Like I drink all the beer on the Western Coast.
I drank most of the beer.
Yeah.
Most of the beer, yeah. I honestly don't think my drinking really got too out of control.
Good company.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Hey, beer and art, worst ways to spend a year of weirdness.
Oh, it's the only way to do it, really.
Yeah.
I recommend it. If you're an artist, drink.
So what's next? What do you got coming? Places are starting to open back up and starting to book some shows. I mean, I hear rumblings a bit here and there.
Yeah, there's rumblings. There's nothing in the books yet, but it's coming. It's still early on. This is still May. June 15th, apparently Magic Day, where everything opens.
For Cali, anyway.
COVID's gone.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Although Australia just went back into lockdown today. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, the Victoria Coast?
Yeah, Melbourne.
Melbourne. Yeah, went back
jeez.
into lockdown.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
And they had the longest lockdown of anywhere else in the country before this.
We were reading about it. It was 111 days.
Oh my God.
And then they have, I think, 36 cases currently, and they locked it all down again.
See, I mean, I'm still gonna, if I'm gonna go into a place, I'm gonna wear a mask for a while. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't, but I know a lot of people aren't vaccinated, and this isn't one of those.
You mean you don't trust the honor system? No. You don't think people are honest?
God, no.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They're the
no
worst.
Way. No, and especially like an anti-vaxxer is like
Oh.
the last person I'm going to trust with fucking doing anything
Exactly.
for somebody else.
Yeah, no. These people are just using June 15th as like, all right, fuck you.
Yeah, I just lost all of our anti-vaxxers support.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Shut up, you don't deserve art.
They're probably the ones that can afford it, though.
Oh my God.
They're all the conservatives in Orange County.
Yeah.
I meant I'm equal opportunity when it comes to vaxxers and anti-vaxxers. That's exactly what I meant to say, because I'm spineless and a shitheel.
Oh man, I have principles, but if you're gonna buy my art, well, I'm not gonna ask questions.
If you're going to buy lamb chop, you don't have to wear a mask.
Oh man.
My stuff is completely soaked with COVID-19 though, so you might want to wear a mask. Yeah. It's just dripping with it.
That's awesome. Well, Creep,
Yeah.
I love you, dude.
Oh, I love you,
I
and I love you, Shot.
I love
I'm
you
very
too.
honored to be your friend, and slightly less honored to show your work.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, like almost like an obligation.
Really, I mean,
Yeah.
it feels that way
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
But I appreciate, you let me have a shot at this.
it was really
young
cool.
kid.
It's a really great show.
great.
I dug what Bunny did too. So
Yeah, she did. She
you
killed
know,
it.
You guys both knocked it out of the park.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
For a quote unquote pandemic show,
Yeah.
you didn't fuck off, and you pulled out all the stops.
And
so
it's
thank you.
fun.
It's
It is
super fun.
and that's what. Yeah.
That's
It's
a
not
really cool thing to
like
bring
it's
up.
not like COVID. Woe is me. It's like, hey, here's
it-
fun.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean, you could have put Cherry in a mask and pulled that card.
no. That's no.
Make it fun.
I wanted to have a fun show, and I know that's kind of like not really a dark art thing to do.
Oh, but there's plenty of little
It's-
snide, sideways things. Like there are jokes in your paintings, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. I think that's something that I was getting ready to sign off, but now I got to talk about this. 'Cause there are jokes in your paintings,
yeah,
and some of them are dark fucking humor,
yeah. Oh yeah,
like
totally.
lamb chop.
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
So
yeah.
you got lamb chop with the
Yeah.
lamb chop with
Yeah.
the fork in it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just
She's
lamb chop's cute, but
horrified.
also fuck you, lamb chop.
Yeah. No, I love putting. I've always put humor in my art. I think it's kind of what I stand with wanting to. I don't know. It's dark but funny, and
Sexy a little bit here and
I
there.
want you
yeah.
to like look at something from far away and like, oh, that looks fun. That looks delightful. And then you get up to it and you're like, oh, that's a little fucked up.
Yeah.
I
It's
want-
deceptive too,
Yeah.
because it's so graphically pleasing because it's so clean, like we said. But people probably, unless they're a painter that has attempted to paint in that style, don't understand the amount of work that goes into it.
Yeah. I'm pretty dark, guys.
Yeah,
Pretty dark.
You're definitely the darkest artist that we show.
I think so. I mean, it looks like acrylic, but it's blood.
Darkiest.
It's
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah, it's so dark.
Guys. Yeah, so dark.
Dark's weird.
But yeah,
All right.
I thought we needed to do a fun show for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Lighten the mood.
Well, good job, man.
Thanks.
You
And I
did.
feel like it's an appropriate show that to be leading towards some hope coming
Yeah.
out of this year. Like we're maybe on the wane, and that's cool. So
Yeah. If anything, I brought people hope.
aw, that's what I think.
Speaking of hope, our next art show is going to be Tiny Terrors 4: A New Hope.
Good one.
Yeah, we went right for Star
Beautiful.
Wars.
So be on the
Beautiful.
lookout for that on June 12th.
So Tiny Terrors 4. So this is the fourth one.
Yes.
That's why we call it Tiny Terrors 4.
Oh, I get
In
it.
case you didn't get
Yeah.
how that works out. And everyone has had a little tagline to it. In the last one, was from Die Hard with a Vengeance. So it was,
No, it was a new batch. No, that
that
was
was the second
one.
one. The second one was a new batch because Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
And then the third one was Die Hard with a Vengeance. So it was Tiny Terrors 3 with a Vengeance. And now we have 4, A New Hope. And absolutely, when we picked that name, it was because of the timing. It was like, we needed some hope right now. So I understand why you jumped on that segue.
Yeah, well, and I want to promote our next art show as well.
And he literally jumped on a Segway. He's riding around the gallery right now. It's so cool. I want to ride that.
He's such a segue
You
nerd.
can jump on it after I'm done.
Yay.
So, Shot, how many pieces of art are you've been inputting them into the system? So
I think right now we're like at 120, but we have more coming.
yeah, it's a big fucking show. It's like 70 artists this year.
Yeah, 70 or 80. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm pulling my hair out. I'm going to be bald.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to hang. It's always an interesting show to hang.
Hey, Creep, you want to paint a little one?
No, I'm good.
You got to wait. just screen print something, you lazy ass.
You can't just end this with a compliment. You stab me in the heart.
No way, man. You know us better than that.
I know. I love you guys.
Yeah, we love you too. Whatever. Hey, man, thanks for doing the show. Thanks for doing the podcast.
Oh, well, thanks for having
Thanks for
me.
insisting on doing the podcast.
Come on, guys. I didn't twist your arms.
No,
you
you didn't.
wanted this to happen.
I do love to talk to you. Talk to me.
You
All
just
right.
love to hear your own voice.
Yeah,
pretty
who
much.
doesn't? It's sexy as
It's
hell.
it's so sexy.
It sounds like I'm constantly got spit in my throat. So,
Oh God, yeah. I'm turned on.
so for Tiny Terrors, we are doing a physical reception.
Yes.
We're
noon
done
to
talking about you. Sorry, man. We got to talk about other shit now.
I'll let myself
From
out.
noon to 5,
From noon to 5 on June
12th.
12th. Yes.
So come in. We're going to do a noon to 5 in-person opening. I think we still have to wear masks because it's not the 15th. So,
Right.
So wear a mask.
And wear
in
masks
see-
if you want to,
Yeah.
anyway. I mean,
And
even
then-
if it is opened up, and we're comfortable with people wearing
And then
masks. So.
after that, we're going to do the online reception on Facebook Live,
Like we've been doing for
like we've
a
been
year.
doing for a year and some change.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be the Cross Show Motor Mouth Micro Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's over 130 artists or art pieces to talk about.
When we did the last one, it was also during lockdown, and it took me like an hour and a half to talk about the entire show
Yeah.
of like a couple hundred pieces.
Yeah.
And I was so winded and broken by the end of that. Like, I had no idea how much that was going to take out of me to talk about art that constantly, that quickly, for that long.
So
You're a professional.
I am not. Don't ever
So
get that
even if you're not
impression.
interested in art, just come watch Cross get winded.
Yeah, right, just my fat ass die talking about art.
Yeah.
Cross, you've lost so much weight. You are a slim motherfucker.
I'm still going to die.
His lungs still don't work,
Yeah.
though.
Hey, I haven't smoked in a long time either, so there you go.
Well, the damage is done.
You look
It is,
good.
it is. I'm
You
still
look
going to die
good.
next month. It doesn't matter. I'm
You're gonna leave a beautiful corpse.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fuckable.
You're totally going to want to do
Yeah.
it.
All right.
All right, on that note, bye, Creep.
Bye.
Bye, Shot.
Bye, guys. We're done.